Hey guys, it's Rusty Dave. I apologize for the lighting. I'm at home. Just too busy at work to film. But I did want to show you guys the up close, the Husky, I was going to say USA made tool screwdriver set that I got. But I'm pretty sure there's these two little guys. One in Phillips and you can see one in flat over there. I don't think these are made in USA. It doesn't say it on it. And you can see they're just a little rougher made. They feel like they're made of different plastic, so not completely USA made, but almost. All the rest are. It's got a few torques. You can see it's got T30, oh, I got them in the wrong order, 20, 15, and 10. And these guys, the finish is not bad. I don't know if it's focusing good. Finish isn't bad at all. These raised edges, like the valleys aren't that deep, but handle's not, it doesn't feel bad. I have a few things to compare it to over here. Like I got the classic Craftsman that started out with those, panels. This isn't USA made. This is a later one because all my USA made ones are beat up and they're chopped down now. So got this one just to, show the difference in handles, because this is like the original acetate handle. And then here, let's take a look at one of the bigger ones, because these handles a little small, but it doesn't feel bad in the hand. And you got basically four, well, like I said, you got these tiny little guys for precision stuff, which, the tips aren't bad. These, they're kind of crappily made, though. You can see the handles. A lot to be desired on the finish. And they feel really light. This feels a lot better. And besides the painting, the handles are pretty nice. Like, the paint's just off on some of them. Actually, the smaller ones, it seems to be a bit better. You got all your part numbers. And again, I just noticed, I don't know if these guys are USA made either. The smaller ones, all of these say USA like that. But look at that, there's nothing on there. Maybe they just didn't have the room. Let's check out the flat. Yeah, that one doesn't say it either. So I'm not sure. Let's see. The test will be this stubby. Oh, stubby doesn't say it either. I wonder if it is or not. Kind of hard to tell, but yeah, all of these are labeled on the pommel, I guess you call it. And it's stamped and colored in. You got your, P2. And these big handles, they're very comfortable, actually. Got the ridges for your thumb. They feel good. Doesn't have the ball like that Craftsman I was showing, kind of stop your hand from coming down. And what these handles reminded me of instantly, I got one here, Power Fist. This is Princess Auto. It's just a long flat. Actually got a little bit of a bend to it. It was like that when I bought it. Cheap, like $2-3. Not even, probably like $2.50 at the most. Same thing, it's stamped, labeled, but it's not as big. But this one, same thing. The panels aren't very raised. But this, right away I noticed there were some sharp edges around here I had to sand down. You can see it's kind of a little unfinished there too. That's one thing I noticed about these guys. You can see that's the one area on all of them that left a little to be desired. The top. It's like you can see, I'll grab that, actually Craftsman was the same. I always thought it had like a little chamfer kind of there. But you know what does? This is a non-USA made Husky. This was a little older. And I can compare this right to the P2 of the same length there. Handle is basically the same. These actually are a little deeper on this handle. And again, P2, it's labeled down there. And look at that. If you can see, there's like a chamfer going in there. This is actually nicer finish up here. And it has laser etching for grip. This has actually been a good screwdriver ever since I had it. But let's compare it to this one. They're virtually the same length, same design, everything, except this does not have the laser etching in it. And like I said, there's no chamfer there. It's just kind of flat. And all of these leave a little to be desired on that, but it feels good. Handle feels, like I said, almost exactly the same. These are a little deeper, which gives you a little more grip, but there's nothing wrong with this handle. Feels good, good size. And there we go. I like to put all the logos the same. And then you got two P2s, one P1, one P0, and I think this is another P0, but with a short little stubby handle. Then you got the multiple handle sizes. You can see these are the good size. This is a little bit shorter. Then you go a lot shorter. And this was a 16-piece set. Oh, excuse me. 5 Phillips, 4 Torx, and then all the rest are just flats. You got your long, skinny one. And what I like about the flatheads, if you see that, it has the hatching. I won't say cross hatching because it's not. And that is why I got this, because a Craftsman always had those, and it reminded me of that. And that's nice, you know, grabbing into stuff, because most of them are just like that. They're just plain flat tips, which isn't bad. Even this one, laser etched, I don't really think it gives you that much more grip compared to this guy. I think this is a better design, but you don't see it much anymore, except, like I said, Craftsman, because they've always been there. But this was considered long for Mastercraft, and then like how much longer that is. So I thought that was a pretty good comparison for a long one. Did not measure this yet. I think the blade itself is like, it's got to be roughly about a foot. I'll take a quick measurement in a bit here. That's got to be about a foot. That's a pretty good length. And then again, all the sizes of your blades are right here. You got 2/4 inches, 3/16, 3/16, 1/8, 3/16 on the stubby, and then that's probably an 1/8 again. No, that's even smaller. And this one does not have the hatching on it, if you can see that. It's just flat. And I apologize about my thumbnail and my dirty hands. I just got home from work a little while ago. Again, handle feels a little cheap on these little guys. But all the rest do have that hatching. Let's see if this little one has it. Yep, there it is. And this set, well, this is at Princess Auto. It was in their surplus area, which I like to go to a lot because they have all sorts of brands. And this was $16.99. Now, I haven't looked it up at like the Home Depot because I know they're the ones that sell Husky, but that's a great deal. Even with taxes, just barely over $1 a piece. And all of these, well, all of these except those are all labeled USA. These, I'm not sure, because I mean, the fit and everything looks exactly the same, but it just doesn't say it. There just might not be enough room because of that long part number. Same thing with these guys. Like, look at those long part numbers. But they each have their own part number, I think. Yeah, it's all separate. They each have their own part number. I know Husky is usually lifetime, well, limited lifetime. It doesn't say anything on the box. Just says what you get. But I thought for the money, that was a pretty good set. Oh, excuse me again. Sorry, I just have a little bit of heartburn going on. Anyway, you know what? I'm going to test these out and I'll get back to you guys, let you know how they're holding up, how the tips hold up. But, you know, first unboxing and looking at it, they're pretty nice. And it's good to see some American-made stuff. And it's not killing the bank, even here in Canada, even though, you know, we got all those tariffs and everything. They probably had these in before the tariffs, otherwise they would be more expensive. This I was wondering about. It kind of looks like it's on an angle, but you look at it straight on and the profile looks good, but you're looking at it from the side, it kind of looks like it's twisted, but it looks like it's twisted counterclockwise. So if you're twisting it, tightening it, it'll go the opposite way. Maybe that's for gripping, I don't know. And it's kind of like that on all of them. Hard to see from this camera angle, but you can kind of see it's twisted. But again, they're all counterclockwise twisted just slightly, so I think that's the design. And that's to help, you know, probably to help from deformation of the head and to help grip a little. So we'll see how those go. There's a lot of torque screws on fender liners and stuff that I deal with lots. These guys, you know, pry bars, we'll see how they go. Nah, I try not to use them as pry bars too much. I do use them on clips a lot, even though I do have my trim poppers that I always use. And then P1 and 2s, they're real handy, so we'll see how they get along, and I'll give you guys an update. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.